what's happening? What up, though? Good afternoon. It's your girl, Jaja, and you're listening and tuning in to Yeah, I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I hope that you all are having a wonderful, beautiful pre-weekend day. Listen, it's your girl, Jaja, and you're listening to Yeah, I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. If you're tuning in today, we are talking about getting a return on your investment. This show is brought to you by Natasha Lee and Stand on Your Purpose. That event is going to be held February 24th. If you would like more information, you can check her page out at Natasha Lee on Facebook, and I'm that girl, Natasha Lee, on Instagram. She has an amazing event coming up. It's called Stand on Your Purpose, February 24th. The show is brought to you by Natasha Lee. I'm that girl, Stand on Your Purpose. That's February 24th, 2018. Listen, it's your girl, Jaja. You're listening to Yeah, I Said It. Before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Y'all already know what I say. I'm in my right mind. Thank you, Lord. I got the activities of my limbs. Hallelujah. And I ain't in nobody's jail. Been there, done that. And I ain't in nobody's hospital. Been there, done that as well. Today we're talking about having a return on your investment. And for those of you that are in business, ever been in business, ever wanted to start a business, ever wanted to partner with individuals with business, or just wanting to be a better mother, father, employer, better person in general, you always want to have a return on your investment. And some of us lose out on so many relationships, whether it be with family, lovers, employers, in your business, because some of us give more than what we receive. It's just like being in a relationship with someone, and you love them so much. You love the ground they walk on. You always there for them. You always trying to give a listening ear, a helping hand. And then when it comes down to somebody helping you, when it comes down to somebody supporting you, when it comes down to somebody sitting on your side and standing by your side, it's always a challenge. It's always difficult because you're not getting back what you have reciprocated. And it could be very disheartening, and it could be very frustrating because you expect the people that you love to support you. You expect the people that you work with not to be backbiters or try to betray you or do things to hurt you intentionally. You expect for your spouse or your loved one to actually support your ventures and support you while you're going through your trials and your tribulations. But I'm here to tell you that that's not always the case. You're not always going to have people that are going to give you what it is that you have submitted to them. There are always cases where in relationships, whether they be platonic, whether they be business, where you're going to be given more than the other person. And you want to have to find balance. But we're going to get right into it. If you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And we're talking about getting a return on your investment. Not just a return on your investment as to what you have put out financially, but what you've put out spiritually, what you've put out mentally, financially, what you've put out emotionally. Because some people, you will keep giving and giving and giving and giving and giving. And when it comes down to your back being up against the wall, they just looking at you like, you all right? Like, no, pick up a broom, pick up a shovel, help me do something. When you needed gas money, or when you needed a ride, or when you needed a listening ear, or when you needed some support, listen, I was right there helping you. And sometimes we have to be mindful of what relationships we value and which ones we don't. Which ones are worth investing in and which ones are not. I can say that I'm grateful to God that He allowed me to be an entrepreneur at a young age. I started being an entrepreneur at 12. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. We're talking about having a return on your investment. But I started as an entrepreneur at the age of 12. I took this little dollar store case, and I had a bunch of nail polishes and files. And my mom always made me take like the callous dead skin off of her feet. Oh, okay, disgusting. But she would make me take the callous stuff off her feet, file her nails, clip her toenails, because she couldn't bend all the way down because, she was plus size. It was kind of hard for her to bend down because she was voluptuous. So she asked me to do it. I didn't mind doing it because I take pride in everything that I do, even if it's minor to you, is major to me. And you got to be careful of how people treat your major things minor. And I'm going to say that again. Be careful how people treat your major stuff as if it's minor. Be mindful of that. Be mindful of how they treat your little business, or be mindful of how they treat your little house, because it may be little to them, but it's big to you. When I made it off the floor, from sleeping on the floor to actually sleeping in a bed, that was major for me. When I went from being a renter to a homeowner, that was major for me. When I went from catching a bus to getting rides, that was major for me. When I went from catching rides to being able to pay for my own lifts, that was major for me. When I went from being able to pay for lifts and to getting my own car, that was major. With a cosigner, from having a car with a cosigner to having a car on my own credit, that was major for me. But don't let people treat your major things as if they're minor, because people will do it. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm gonna add more to it. We're talking about getting a return on your investment. But I was a young entrepreneur, and my mom would have me to take the callous stuff off her feet, polish her nails, file them, massage her feet, and all this stuff. And I didn't mind doing it because I took pride in doing it. And so I asked her one day, I'm like, Mom, do you think it'll be okay if I go up the street in my neighborhood? Shout out to Joy Road, exit 9, come off the freeway. Y'all already know what time it is. It's your girl, Jaja Detroit. She's a real Detroiter. She ain't just became a Detroiter. She been repping the D all her life. But I asked my mom if I can go in my neighborhood and start my little spa business by doing pedicures and manicures. I didn't have a lot, but what I did have, my mom approved me to go out and be that young entrepreneur. And for those of you who have children, ask them what is it that they're good at. Find out what it is that they like, because there are many avenues for our young people to get opportunities of entrepreneurship, even if it's just a small lemonade stand. That small lemonade stand, that young lady who got a lemonade, started as a lemonade stand, is a millionaire now, just from her doing her lemonade stand and her parents supporting. Don't just send your kids to watch TV and play on the iPad all day and be on their cell phone all day. Get into their head, get into their mind, see what they good at, see what they can do, and invest in that, cultivate that. Because just like you're good at what you're doing, there was a step process for you to get there. But so my mom allowed me to go ahead, and she allowed me to go up and down the street, and I would knock on people's doors. Now, don't get me wrong, I was scared to death. I was scared to death to knock on people's doors to promote myself. But I'm going to tell you something. One of the things that I've learned, and I've been in business with politics, entertainment, I've been in education. One thing's for sure, two things for certain. If you don't promote yourself, nobody else will. If you don't take your little business, big business, middle business serious, nobody else will. The minute you become lackadaisical and lazy with your gift that God gave you, or the charge that God is giving you to do, the minute you become lazy with that, the minute that you become callous and lackadaisical about it, the minute nobody will take you serious. I've been doing Kelly's Kids Foundation for a long time, and a lot of people reach out to want to partner with me. A lot of people reach out to want to do business with me. And then there are a lot of people that are waiting to see, okay, well, what else she gonna do? And then I may jump in. But I have to stay focused on my goal and what it is that I want to do. So as a young lady, I would knock on people's door and ask, was the lady at the house there? And I wanted to know if she would like a manicure. Now, I have maybe about 40 something houses on our block. We had a very long block off of Carlin. Shout out to Carlin crew, and rest in peace to Banky, one of the young men who just recently passed away. He was best friends with my uncle, which is Zeus, which is also my uncle Corey. Also Mackenzie Staggs. Shout out to all the Mackenzie Staggs out there. We got to make sure we support our own, and DPS. We got to make sure that we support them. Shout out to Miss Carol for the loss of her son, Jabanky. Really great influence in the music career. Really great friend to my uncle, one of his best friends. So I want to shout a major shout out and support to them, because we are losing the culture of working together and supporting one another. Not just when somebody dies, but we got to be able to support each other while we're living. It's a lot of us that are out here doing things, and we have to be able to support one another, even if that means you can't physically be there. Share the post, repost it, send it to somebody else that may be able to help or get that information. But back to the story. I was nervous about knocking on the doors on Carlin to promote my little spa business. But out of all of the doors that I knocked on, I got one customer that day. One customer, and I never forget, her name was Miss Miriam. She lived in the second house off the corner. and I think she still lives there. And I came to she let me come to her house. She took a chair, brought it outside in her walkway. And we're talking about, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about having a return on your investment. Right now I'm live on my Instagram, I'm live on my Facebook, and make sure you please share these videos. And you can follow me also on YouTube at Jaja on my YouTube channel, and subscribe. So she took a chair, she set it in the hallway and of her walkway outside. And okay, now this is no shade because I love Miss Miriam. You know you my dog. Okay, you were my first customer. She had the crustiest feet I have ever seen in my life, y'all. I mean, ever in my life. Okay, she was an older woman, so her feet have been a lot of places. I mean, it is what it is. She was older, and she probably was a hard worker, and pedicures were probably not her number one focus, which is a luxury. It's not something that, is a priority for some people. For me, it is. But anyway, she had the crustiest feet ever in life. I was grateful that she gave me the opportunity to do business with her, but I knew that I was going to have to put in work. And we're talking about having a return on your investment. When you are putting an investment in, you're not always going to reap the benefits immediately. Some investments require time. Just like a flower. A flower doesn't just spring up out the grass and becomes a flower immediately. It takes time. That seed that you plant in that ground that you've toiled and you've dug up, it has to be put in the ground. It has to be watered. There has to be some sun, some vitamin D coming to that area. And then that seed breaks its shell. Once it breaks its shell, it spreads its roots so that it can be grounded. And some of us build things that aren't stable and they're not grounded. And then you want to know why it doesn't grow. It doesn't grow because it's not stable. We don't do the bare minimum and the bare basics of what it is that we need to do when we're starting off, whether it be in a new job, whether it be in a new relationship, whether it be starting off in a new business. We just go, we just do it. We just get out there, let's do it. And the thing about it is that we end up dealing with failures, and we end up becoming depressed or suffering from anxiety or stressed out and discouraged because we didn't do the groundwork and the basic work. And believe you me, I was one of those same people where I had to keep going back to my businesses and keep going back to the blueprint because I felt like I was always missing something. Something was always, either I was jumping the gun, not getting as many people as I needed, not doing certain things so that way I could have the sustainability that I needed in order for my businesses to grow. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And I know you heard me the first time. We're talking about a return on your investments. Now listen, I sat there, I scrubbed her feet, y'all. I mean, I was a scrubber sister. I feel like I got stronger with muscles because I had to scrub her feet so hard. I had to clip her toenail. I felt like Myra off of Martin when Martin had to do Myra's feet, y'all. I had to clip her toenails. They was hard and crusty. I had to clip her toenails. I had to file her feet. And then she had this polish that was old. I had to put some nail polish remover in there. That's a trick if you want to loosen up your nail polish. One of your favorite nail polishes, you want to loosen it up. I polished her nails. She had me go back. Okay? She had me go back to an area on her foot that she felt was still hard. And I thank Miss Miriam for being my first client because of the fact that she taught me the value of hard work and the value of having a customer, and not only the value of having a customer, but the value in producing what I say I produce. Some of you say you do things that you don't produce. You say you in music, but we don't hear no music. We don't hear no samples. You ain't posting nothing about no music. You posting about everything else that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. You say you a barber, but every time we see you, your hair ain't even cut. Your whole cutting area is a mess. It don't even look like a barber belong here. You say you doing this, but every time we look on your social media, you on a whole nother level talking about something that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. You are your brand. When I talk about I'm a lash tech, I got on lashes. I'm not about to sit up here and promote something that I don't do. And see, if you expect a return on your investment on anything that you want, if you want a loyal relationship, be a loyal person. If you want to be the employee of the month, do what it takes to become an employee of the month. One of the major things that I find myself talking with people when they want to partner with me is, okay, well, what groundwork have you done? What is the format and formula that you have acquired? What is it that you're doing in order for me to partner with you on this particular item? See, everybody wants to jump on the paddy wagon and the boat to get the success, but nobody wants to do the hard work. And if you want anything to grow, you're gonna have to work at it. I know it seems like people on social media become Insta famous and Instagram famous and Facebook famous, but you don't realize that they had to do 20 videos, or they had to be embarrassed 100 times, or thousands of people didn't believe what they were capable of doing until that one person or those few people really invested in what it is that they're doing. And I'm gonna tell you something, I'm gonna be on TV. I'm going to have a television show. I'm going to have a radio show that's going to be syndicated. These are things that are going to happen, not only because I believe in me, but I speak those things that are not as though they were, and I'm qualified to do it. I'm qualified to do it. This is something that comes so natural because I know it's a God-given gift, and I'm going to use it not to exploit other people, but to build my community and build the people that I genuinely love and care about. Because when you start doing things just to be doing them,